Diving headfirst into Liberty Athletics. You're listening to the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. This is the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I mentioned we do this twice a week after Thanksgiving. Monday nights are always going to be, who do we start with tonight? I have to stop and think. Estacado, Monterey, Memorial, and Liberty. Wednesdays are going to be Lubbock High, Coronado. To think about it for a second. Friendship and Lubbock Cooper. Liberty and Lubbock Cooper always get stuck in the last spot, which means you guys have to hang out with me for 3 segments instead of 2. But it's really not bad. It's just a few more minutes. But that's good because with Liberty Patriots, Lady Patriots soccer, we get to talk about another great season that's just now hitting kind of the zenith. This is where, especially last year, this team really was good. This has been a little bit different season because Coach Keelyn Ellison has been able to enjoy the whole season.
Yes.
You and Morgan Glaspie went through a lot of similar things last year, and she talked about last year that it was hard at times. For those who don't know, Coach Ellison had a baby about this time last year, was it?
At the end of the month.
She.
A girl.
She's 1 year old?
Almost.
So you, for the absolute best reasons, had reasons to be a little bit distracted, but your team wasn't distracted. They were really, really good. They're really good again this year. Now, assistant coach is, you guys kind of passed the baton.
Yeah, we're taking turns.
There you go. Because Kendall Darden took over and got these girls to the third round. Third round. And we'll very briefly talk about that here in a minute because I know that was a learning experience for all of you guys. Introduce your 2 players that you brought.
Senior captain MJ Beasley is closest to you, and then sophomore Amelia Martinez. They're both center backs for us.
And you have, even though we just talked to the Memorial folks, the softball team, about their going through what you guys did in year 1 where everybody's a sophomore, freshman, but you've got a good mix on your team where you're not, I know you're going to say some good, I don't want to tug at emotions here. You've got to say goodbye to some seniors eventually here, but you also have you've got a good mix of girls who are going to be back next year, and then for 2 years. Has that kind of helped this team kind of form a little bit of a chemistry? Not that you didn't have it the last few years, but a different kind of chemistry?
Yeah, I think it's been nice to not have that transition out every single year. We've been able to keep like the same leadership spots, so to say. And I think that has really helped with our team chemistry. And then I think our team is really close. They might tell you differently, but I think that that's something that we will continue to have, and they will uphold that expectation of like, hey, we're here to support each other.
All right. Coach put you on the spot, so I'm going to put you on the spot, MJ. How close is this team?
We're really close. Just before this, we had team dinner with almost the entire team. And then after me and Amelia knew we were coming together, she asked me for a ride. So it's just stuff like that. We get to do big things and the small things, like giving rides, just chatting in those little moments. We got ready together, spent an hour at my house. So it's just nice getting to interact with them off the field because we are so close with each other.
So, Amelia, did you play as a freshman? You did, because I remember speaking to you. I came out, Coach Darden was sitting there. You got a feel for what varsity soccer was going to be like last year. How has it been different this year? Has it been easy? I don't want to say easier. That doesn't sound right. Has it been less challenging to kind of be out there on the field?
I feel like everyone has like really good chemistry, and I feel like that like has a big factor in how we play. And I feel like last year was it wasn't stressful because everyone's so welcoming, and so like coming back this year I wasn't really scared, but like I think since like she said we haven't really lost anybody, so it's like kind of the same bonding, same mindset, but we're just like getting better, so I think that helps.
Well, I'm going to tell a story on Coach here because the very first time we met, she told me that her eyes got opened a little bit because y'all had a lot of players who weren't necessarily soccer players or hadn't played before, which is a challenge as a coach, but especially with just freshmen and sophomores. it seems like you're getting a lot more girls who show up ready to play soccer now.
You know, they're coming to us and they've got club experience. It's not just, oh, well, I played LSA when I was 5 years old. You know, we still have a couple of those girls who are lingering who have been a part of the program, but our girls that are coming up are club players, and they're super solid. We're adding to the team every single year. We're really lucky.
You get the girls' sports at Liberty didn't waste any time. Starting with volleyball, y'all just started winning district championships and going to playoffs. And MJ, how cool has it been to be a part of that? That you guys just hit the ground in immediate success. You tied for the district championship as a freshman or a sophomore, or did you guys win it outright?
I believe we got second.
We got third.
Okay.
Third our first year by 1 point.
Right, and I'll say that you're in that situation right now, but you've been right there at the top of that district, and this is not a district. There's a couple of teams down there that maybe aren't great, but your matches every time you step on the field, especially now because you have that big target on you. How proud are you of what you guys have accomplished starting day one and now as we get ready to hit the playoffs, and we'll touch on that after one of the breaks, but how proud of you of what you guys have accomplished over these 3 years?
I'm super proud of the team and from where we started and where we've been to. Starting out sophomore year, I wasn't with soccer initially. I was in basketball season. So seeing the transition of, some of them haven't played soccer, and then I get there and practices are hard, getting bodied up in practice, being challenged every day, and then just seeing that growth progress. We haven't had easy practices, so that's been amazing to see challenge after challenge after challenge, and that in games too. Being at the top of our district is obviously great, but when we're in practice is really where we get better.
That's fascinating to me because talking to the young Memorial girls, they were talking about the practices were still really fun. They don't have to not be fun and be hard. I mean, they could be hard and be fun. I assumed you were a soccer player when you showed up. I guess I shouldn't have just assumed, but I remember talking to you last year. You played a lot of soccer before you got to high school. When you got to high school and realized that it's not just practice in the season, but when you guys start, almost from the first day of school, you start some sort of workout. That's a little bit different than just showing up during a club season and just putting your cleats on and going to work. We're coming up on a break, so I'm going to let you think about that for a minute. We've got 2 segments left. Like I said, Liberty stuck with me for 3 segments. So we'll come back and talk more about where the Lady Patriots are, where they're headed in the playoffs after this break on the High School Fan Zone.
Your inside look into Liberty sports. This is the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. I'm Randy Rosetta. This is the High School Fan Zone. All right, Amelia, I gave you time to think there. How different has it been learning how to practice last year as a freshman to now, where you kind of know the routine? You know that, as MJ said, practices are not meant to be easy. You're going to go out there and work and try to get better. How different has it been as a sophomore?
I feel like this year it's a lot different because we're losing seniors this year, so we're really practicing to win because we know as soon as playoffs start, we don't know when it's going to be the last game and the last practice. So each practice is really important, whether we think it's not, and each drill we do, every time we condition, even though we might not like it, it's really important, and it's we all push each other because we know how important it is.
So I'm an old man, and I will tell you that athletes haven't liked conditioning since the dawn of conditioning, so you're fine not liking conditioning. I always like it when I've talked to coaches that I let them condition themselves. See how that turns out. All right, Keelyn, so you're going to have to, you've been one of the coaches that's helped me. Actually, one of your mentors is one of the first ones, Alistair, who helped me figure soccer out a little bit. Your standings right now, you guys are district champions because you did pretty well in shootouts when you got into ties, correct?
Yes.
So explain that to me. Right now, you look at the standings, you're like, okay, Greenwood doesn't have a loss, but.
Yes, so for our district, and it's not the same across all soccer districts, which, don't get me started on that. I think it needs to be
I would
uniform.
Agree with you.
Our district, if you win the PK shootout, you get 2 points. But if you lose the PK shootout, you still get 1 point.
Okay.
So we had a point advantage over Greenwood from the get-go. And then when we lost to them, we were down 3 points. And then they lost in 3 PK ties. So they only got 1 point. So we were able to like catch back up to them.
Because that's been your foil, especially the last 2 years. That's been, now, like you said, that Memorial's been really good against you this year. There's been some other teams, but the last few years, you and Greenwood, that's been neck and neck, which is good for you because it gets you ready for the playoffs. We were trying to determine if you'll both be small school or one will go, and the split thing still confuses me whenever I start to look at it. I'm going to get the girls to talk about this. We were talking about it before. Playing them twice this year, playing them just twice last year. How much has that helped you guys? How much has that toughened your skin a little bit, MJ?
It's definitely toughened us up. Our district isn't always the most competitive or the most physical. So getting to see Greenwood twice in district, once at the beginning and once at the end, it really pushed us to focus. And those in-between practices, they're a big team that helps us get ready for the playoffs because we know that once we reach round 2 and round 3 that we're going to see more and more physical teams with bigger girls. So getting to see that earlier on in the season is really beneficial for us so that we know what to expect going on later.
It's a good segue because I said we'd talk about it briefly. Got to the 3rd round last year, lost to Godley. What was the final score?
1.
So 1-0? Yeah, it was, if I remember right, their best player got loose maybe on one play. It's either you or Friendship, but it all blurs together. You girls play a lot of club soccer, but do you have to think differently when you get into the teams against the Metroplex? Because Godley did play a little bit differently than you guys did, but I was at that match. How differently do you have to be ready, I guess, mentally, Amelia?
I mean, some of us play club. Like, I know I play club. There's some other teams, like people on my team that play club. So I think the people that play club kind of help the people that might not. And even the people that don't, they like really push themselves. So even when we are playing these teams that are from the Metroplex, like we're going to push ourselves. And even like no matter the outcome, we still like try our hardest and like we leave it all on the field. Because
Godley was pretty physical last year. Keelyn, you had a unique perspective on that because you had just had the baby and had to watch on a computer screen. When you watch that match kind of unfold, what stuck in your head that you know will be beneficial to your girls if you face them again or somebody similar to them?
We're just more prepared for that level of physicality. In practice, we're trying to get the girls to be more physical with each other within a certain frame. Like, we don't want anybody to get hurt, but like it's okay to go shoulder to shoulder with somebody. But I think we're not going to be as intimidated by them. Like, we are expectant that the game is going to be a challenge at any level beyond, a district play. So we all know, minus our 3 freshmen, hey, this is what it's going to take. Right. Like, we've got to play with our guts. Like, we can't just go in there willy-nilly. It's going to be a challenge, but we're prepared mentally for it.
Because until that match, you guys had been dominant all season. And that's an eye-opening experience. We've got one more segment. We'll talk a little bit about what's coming up. They still have a little bit of soccer to take care of before then. So come back and join us in the High School Fan Zone, in the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Diving headfirst into Liberty Athletics. You're listening to the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. We have one more segment of the Patriot Fan Zone. We're talking Lady Patriot soccer that I didn't until Keelyn got here and explained it to me. Are you the district champion now, or do you still need to take care of business this week?
We're going to take care of business this week, and I'm not going to jinx it. But
all right, who do you have this week? I know I've got my schedule somewhere in here, but
we go to Pecos, and then we host Estacado on Friday.
Which, the long drive to Pecos, I told you I rode with Joe Sexton and Paul Inload the other day, and we were talking about that. It's so weird that you guys have this district that's somewhat compact, and then there's Pecos.
Yes, thank you, Joe, for driving us tomorrow. We're very appreciative.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right, I'll say something nice to Joe tomorrow too. Then. Did you talk to Coach Navarro about their escapades last week?
No.
They had to drive to Pecos 3 times, because twice they got down there. Once they got down there, there were no officials. Second time, the officials couldn't get there because of a traffic accident on I-10, and so they had to go back a third time. That's all. Coach, I'm sure Coach loves you guys and loves being on the bus with you for 18 hours or whatever it is to get to Pecos, but that's got to test an adult soul.
Especially like a man with like a whole bus of high school girls. His girls are hilarious, but that's a lot.
That's a lot for anybody. So I'm a 2-time girl dad, so I feel like I can handle y'all pretty well. But she's right. They need. And you're still in their same district next year, right?
Yeah. Ours hasn't come out yet, so I don't know.
Okay, I know.
Hopefully,
it can
no
change
offense
a
to
little
them,
bit.
but like I would love to not.
I would bet that because they wind up coming this direction more than you only have to go there once. They have to.
I'm hoping that maybe we'll get Plainview and then Pecos will go to El Paso. But that's still a 3-hour drive for them.
Yes,
but
they're down there. So let's wish you the best. And then Estacado, they're still hunting for their first win. So take care of business. Then you're district champion, and you'll be the number 1 seed, small school. Your district's easy because Memorial's always going to be the biggest school. As long as they're there, you're always going to be the smallest school. And I know coaches don't want their players to start mapping things out and thinking that way, but I know coaches also start thinking that way, that you've got a chance to do A, B, and C without naming opponents. These girls, in year 3, what are their chances? What do you feel like they've got a chance to do in the postseason?
I think better than they could even imagine. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Because fairly enough, you guys are just 3 years old. But as good as you've been, as deep as you went last year, there's high expectations. And I'll let you talk about that. You guys, especially with what your volleyball program's done, what your girls basketball team did this year, what are those expectations for you guys as players?
Liberty's always had a high expectation across all sports. Seeing basketball go as far as they went, not to make it a competition, but
it's a competition.
It is one. Yes. I would love to go further than they did. Love the basketball girls, love Coach Glaspie, but yeah, just the competition within ourselves, going further than we went last year, just having that inner competition within ourselves to always push further than we've ever gone.
It's maybe a friendly competition among the girls' teams, but I guarantee you the boys are paying attention. The boys want to. The baseball, now, in all fairness, the boys, I think the baseball team went further than anybody that first year.
They don't count.
And your basketball guys were so close this last Friday.
Yeah.
I finally texted Parker on Sunday to make sure he was okay, but he has a little boy at home. That'll, as you know, that solves a lot of problems.
He was at school today, so.
There you go. He's fine. Amelia, what about you? You're still fairly new in this process. How good can this team be when you get in the playoffs?
I think we can be like really good because we all motivate each other, and it's not like I think our team doesn't have any drama. Like, we're all really close and we all push each other, and when we want to have a competition, we have a competition, but it's all through love. Like, we all love each other, and I think I don't really see a team that has the chemistry that our team has, and I feel like that can help a team go really far.
So I mentioned your boys team, about boys basketball. You guys have a built-in advantage in that your first time in the playoffs, you lost 1-0. So you're right there. Last year, you're right there in the third round. That motivation is a natural thing. Coaches can coach and talk about it or not talk about it, but there's going to be some motivation. You think these girls, this group is ready to feed off of that?
I mean, with anything in the playoffs, it's like a little bit of luck and a whole lot of fight. And they show up and fight every day. Practices are pretty competitive. It's pretty much everything is like your team doesn't lose and they don't tie each other. Like if both teams tie, like both teams are running. If the team loses, they're running or doing push-ups or whatever. So like they're ready to fight and be competitive because they don't want to lose.
And I'll use one person as an example real quick as we come up at the end. Last year when I talked to Bella Cavazos after that match, you could tell that flame was already burning, and I'm going to guess it's pretty hot by now. So we'll talk more to these girls because I have a feeling they're going to be around in the playoffs for a while. Come back and join us Wednesday in the High School Fan Zone. I'm Randy Rosetta, this 100.7 The Score.